This podcast is part of E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience.
War Eagle Auburn fans, and welcome to Tiger Tracks, your source for Auburn track and field and cross-country news. I'm your host, Jessica Loomis, and I'm here with my husband, Kyle Loomis, to discuss the Live in Lou cross-country classic held October 1st in Louisville, Kentucky.
What is this name? I gotta just say.
It's the worst.
No, it's not the worst. It just sounds like we went to a concert. Live in Lou cross-country classic.
I still really pray it's live and not live.
Oh, it is probably live.
Why would it be live?
Live in Lou. It's for Louisville, because Louisville, Kentucky, right? So.
See, I thought live, like you said, live from Channel 5 News.
Is this some like realty business? Live in Lou? It's got to be live in Lou. That's what it is.
Listen, I Googled this. I tried. There was nobody talking about it.
Dang.
I just mean like there was no podcast.
We're talking about it.
But you see what I mean? Here's the problem. We're talking about it, and now everybody listening is like, y'all are idiots. It's live in Lou or live in Lou. Whichever one it is, we're wrong.
Let's be honest. People already knew that. If they've been listening for a while, they know that we're idiots.
I mean, that's actually a good point. So if you came to this podcast thinking you were going to get a bunch of intelligent people, you were wrong. You might as well leave now.
It's a great way to sell the podcast. Off to a rolling start.
Now,
here.
if you want
running,
if you want bad dad jokes, if you want some hilarious comedy about things we hate, this is the show for you.
Okay. And some cross country thrown in there as well.
Right, at the Live or Live in Lou cross country classic.
I'm gonna say it's live in Lou. I'm gonna make the executive decision that it's live in Lou right now.
Okay, well that's what I thought. That's what I said initially. So the Live in Lou cross country classic, the very longest name ever. Like we said.
Now, hold on. One more thing. Sorry, one more tangent. This is not the longest name ever.
What's the longest name?
The acronym, the USAT.
Oh, USCCA.
It's United States Track and Field and Cross Country something association. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing ever.
I mean, that's actually a fact. But I just mean like cross country title. Like, that's normally fair. It's the Crimson Classic.
Sorry, I just had to add that in there.
I don't know, Blazer Bash or something.
Wow. All right.
So October 1st, we were in Louisville, Kentucky at the E.P. Tom Sawyer State Park, which Auburn has traveled to before. Mm-hmm. And so just as a reminder for you, Kyle, because you probably don't remember this from last year, it's a mostly flat course. So just like the last meet, this is going to bode well for really fast times. There's a couple of hills, but overall it's mostly flat.
So again, do you like this? Do you prefer this to...
I think it's a great course for speedy times, right?
That was not an answer.
It is not my ideal running condition.
Because
for me as a runner or as a spectator, I like the challenge.
So you want there to be more variability.
Exactly. I want these runners, and this is kind of sounding evil. It's like when you play The Sims and you're like, I want you to go through some challenges. I'm
giving her a weird look.
I'm just saying, I like
the audio podcast, but that's what's happening.
I like the variability. I like that on courses with more hills, with different terrains, that it creates this added challenge with the contestants, right? Contestants, like we're on Big Brother. The competitors. This is going really well, isn't it?
It is.
But I just like that it can, so hills, for instance, not everybody trains on hills. Thankfully, in Auburn, there's a couple of courses that there's actually hills for them to run on.
Plains of Dixie.
Oh, yeah, they're so rolling. So
they are.
I don't feel like it's as rolling as like North Carolina.
You walk up from the stadium up to Toomer's Corner and tell me those things don't roll.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. Anyway, variability is good.
I understand that. And I think that's the whole point. Cross country, right? So you expect when you go across country, I know.
Yes. Kind of it's not track and field. It's not meant to be a short,
flat route, a single
course, right?
Challenge, a single aspect, like a speed, a distance. This is meant to challenge all aspects. So obviously focused on distance, but hey, listen, you got to get different challenges in different ways. So sometimes you want to challenge them in their speed in cross country, and that's set up for this probably.
That's where we were. So the men ran an 8K, the women ran a 5K. So shorter distances too. So really, really up for success, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So, Kyle, why don't you start us off with those men's results?
All right. For the men in this Live in Lou Classic, we've got 31 teams competing. Auburn placed 12th out of the 31 teams with 368 points. So in the top half of all of the teams right there. So excellent job. It's where you want to be. Obviously, everyone wants to be in the top 10, the top 5, but I will take the top half. That means you're some of the best ones out there.
Yeah, almost the top third.
Right. So there were 100, I had that flipped, 301 finishers for the race.
Yeah,
now,
big race.
This is probably the biggest one we've talked about this season?
Last meet was almost this big.
Okay, so up there. Not the biggest, but one of the bigger races up there. And you would expect, like, Louisville is a very central location.
Yeah.
A lot of Midwest teams, a lot of Southern teams can probably come here.
And, like I said, EP Tom Sawyer State Park, it's a pretty well-known course.
Right.
So I think most teams are going to try to come for this event.
So lots of people, lots of challenges, and the Tigers seem to...
Those challenges, we just keep mentioning them.
Well, just challenges, challengers, different teams and different skill levels and all that stuff to compete against. So 301 finishers for the race. So we're going to talk about our finishers in the men's first. Ryan Kinane placed second with a time of 23 minutes, 21.6 seconds, which is a new PR for him and his second PR that he's gotten this season.
Which is absolutely incredible. Like, you just think one PR is awesome for a season. Like, you can't hope for anything more than that. And then to break the PR you've already received that season just 2 weeks later, like, just really awesome. Ryan is really on fire right now. It's so cool to see that. And the fact that he got second place, like, got that medal, got on the podium. I mean, that's just really, really great. Out of 301 runners.
This is not a shock for our veterans of this podcast, but, I focus on the medals. She focuses on the PRs.
Right.
And so we got the best
of both worlds.
Exactly. It just works out that way. So great job, Ryan. Way to anchor the team, the men's side of the team, and get us started off on a good note there. Let's roll through the rest of the scorers here. Carson Beddix placed 52nd overall, time 24 minutes, 21.2 seconds. Another PR as well, Jessica. Louis O'Loughlin, I think we got that right the last time, placed 95th overall in 24 minutes, 45.7 seconds. Isaiah Billingsley placed 116th overall with a PR of 24 minutes, 56.00 seconds. Cooper Atkins, finishing out the scorers, placed 123rd overall in a time of 24 minutes, 58.8 seconds. So again, remember, 301 racers. All of our guys are in the top half of everything. As a team, they finished in the top half. So there's really a lot to like about the guys' performance overall in terms of these scores.
Absolutely. And then what I also like about the guys, Kyle's about to get to it, we also have 4 other competitors. Mm-hmm. So we've got a total of 9 Auburn guys that are running and competing for that, 4th and 5th spot too. I think, in seasons past, we've only had 5 men competing, sometimes less, and not being able to score as a team. So the fact that we have enough that, every meet we should at least have enough to score.
I remember Coach Kent talking about this. I think it was with Andy Burcham on their podcast that they do with all the different sports, and talking about how they're blessed with so many options this year. I mean, maybe they've had some in the previous years, but it felt like, and you can see just the sheer number, they've had more. And that's a good thing, right? I mean, competition helps everybody.
Yes.
There's a reason that we all got excited about a quarterback race in football, because competition makes everybody better. You would hope.
Why do you bring in football?
Yeah, just bring a little flavor in there. Listen, this is a feel-good podcast here, not like the football podcast right now, so we got to try to bring some feel-good to it. The point is, competition makes everybody better. So you got these other guys that continue, they're trying to fight for those scoring positions, to have their names up there, part of the overall team score, and get the best PRs that they can get. So that's going to just push everybody to be better. All right, so your non-scorers for Auburn: Joseph Perry placed 149th, 25 minutes, 11.1 seconds. Dustin Lewis, 147th overall with a PR of 25 minutes, 26.00 seconds. Mark Foster, 203rd with a PR of 25 minutes, 42.2 seconds. And Benson Atkins in 209 in a time of 25 minutes, 45.6 seconds. So everybody's at 209 or below. Pretty good showing by all of the Auburn Tigers there, with 4 PRs all the way down from scorers to non-scorers. That should make you very, very happy.
It makes me thrilled that we have that many PRs, that many people who, did so well, not just, physical like placement, but PRs in general. That's even better.
Don't know how much more you can ask.
Exactly. So moving on to the women, they actually had 41 teams.
Ooh,
so even more.
10 more.
And our ladies placed 5th out of 41 teams, 5th place, which is amazing. 251 points they scored, and there were 373 finishers for the race.
Let's put that in perspective. Obviously, they're running different races, different distances, you know, different competition, obviously. But you've got 10 more teams here. You've got, doing quick math.
72 more runners.
72 more runners.
More finishers. Let me be very clear.
Fair.
There were some DNFs, so.
DNF, would you please explain for
Did not finish.
Yeah, I knew what that meant, but I wanted to make sure that the layman didn't know that, you know. So DNF did not finish, but 373 finishers in the race, and they finished 5th.
5th.
Top 5.
Yes.
Wow. Well done.
Yes. And speaking of that, Samantha Rogers placed in the top 10. She placed 7th out of 373 finishers. 7th overall with a new PR of 16 minutes, 53.6 seconds.
So your top runners in both men and women are obviously in the top 5 together. One was in the top 10. Both of them in the top 10.
Math is hard, Kyle.
It is hard. It is very difficult for me. Even though I graduated from Auburn, where you would think I'd be good at math, but I'm not.
Well, you know, we can't be good at everything.
We all have our issues, right? But they also both got PRs. It's exactly what you want out of your anchors, if you want to call them that. Your leaders. You want
leader. There you go. There you go. Captain. Whatever.
Captains, or just the people that everybody's chasing. Have them competing at their best. Have them doing their best every single meet, and they're chasing after them. It just is a great recipe for success.
Wow, you are really with the running puns. Chasing after.
That first one I did at like minute 1 of the podcast was on purpose. The rest of them weren't really on purpose. I wish they were.
You were just really on fire for running.
Yeah, that's it. You got me. You pinpointed me.
So the second scorer for Auburn was Jean Ketzee. She placed 25th in 17 minutes, 11.8 seconds.
Oh, one quick note on Jean. I think I saw this earlier on social media. They're doing that thing with a lot of the sports teams where they'll go interview the teammates and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think I may have this wrong, but I believe she is the one that is going around interviewing all the teammates.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So we should go watch that. If that's the case, if I have that correct. Sorry, that was just one
I hope you
fun
do,
note.
because if not, that's going to be terrible on this podcast.
I believe it was her.
Third for Auburn was Hallie Porterfield. She placed 28th in 17 minutes, 14.1 seconds. Hannah Tarwater placing 87th in 17 minutes, 59.5 seconds. And finally, for Auburn scorers, we had Sarah Pacer placing 110th in 18 minutes, 11.7 seconds.
And you can just look at the sheer difference here, like when you talk about a 5th place finish versus a 12th place finish. Again, different amount of runners, different amount of teams, all that stuff. We get that. But you've got 4 of your scorers in the top 100. That just shows you why the girls got into the top 5 as a team.
Yep.
That's just a great thing to see. And not to dismiss Sarah Pacer at 110th. She's part of the scoring too.
Oh my gosh,
she is an equal contributor to that. But you can just see like how impressive this was for the girls.
Absolutely. So then Auburn had 3 other ladies. So they had 8 women competing, which is awesome. Hannah Thuss placed 169th in 18 minutes, 34.0 seconds. Haley Marston placing 262nd in 19 minutes, 11.9 seconds. And Kaylee Holden placing 334th in 19 minutes, 55.9 seconds.
And something I'll point out, not just for the ladies here, but for the men as well. We talked about earlier the competition, pushing each other. And those ones that weren't part of the scoring this go around, potentially fighting to be up there and it just making everybody better. We've seen names like Hannah Thuss. I believe she's been a scorer before. For the guys, we've seen Dustin Lewis be a scorer before, I believe. So it just shows you that everybody's trying to fight to be, not only individually be better, but they're getting better as a team too, because you've got more people trying to get up there. It's just, I know we've been harping on that a lot, but we're really seeing that in the results here.
Absolutely. So that's really it for the live or live and Lou.
Live, and I really think this should have been like a concert along with.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you're gonna say you're live. Well, you need something live to happen besides running.
Was this a morning start or an afternoon start?
Morning.
Oh, well, it really wouldn't have worked well for a concert, because think about that. Like your starting line is the concert line, and you finish back at it and like, you're live in Lou.
Yeah, but what if they're playing like some slow ballad as you cross the finish
line? That's not a concert. A concert is energy, pumping it up. Like,
not all concerts.
Pump the jam.
Kyle,
pump
Billy
it up.
Joel is not a pump the jam kind of man.
Who's Billy Joel?
Okay. Back to cross country. Auburn is going to Kyle's favorite place, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm so sorry for y'all.
On October 14th, and they'll compete in the Crimson Classic.
Like, why? Why would you schedule in, HE double hockey sticks? Like,
Well,
why?
this is a good course. We
Yeah,
go
it's
every
fine.
year. It's a good course. Let's just see what happens.
Stop being objective. Stop being unemotional with this.
Okay,
This
well-
is Tuscaloosa.
Yes, it is the pits of you know what.
I'm so sorry, guys. But Coach Kine, everybody, I would list you all off, but that'd just take too long again. Like, I'm so sorry.
Maybe we just end it here and say War Eagle.
Please, War Eagle 1,000 times just for them.
War Eagle.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode on the E2C Network. On your way out, I want to remind you to stop by e2cnetwork.com. It's your one-stop shop for all our content across our podcast, YouTube channel, and much more. To stay up to date with us, make sure you're following social media accounts such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. While our content here may always be Auburn sports heavy, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. War Eagle.